T and his son, King Harris, have been at the center of one situation after another. And this time, King went somewhere that nobody expected him to go. The internet is on fire right now because of what King Harris said about 50 Cent's deceased mother. And the question everybody is asking is, did T actually step in and grab King by the neck on camera after King put the family in danger? Here's every single detail of what happened between King Harris, T, and 50 Cent. To understand what King Harris did and why T reportedly put hands on him, you have to go back to the start. In the start is the Verzu situation between T and 50 Cent that has been simmering for months. T and 50 Cent have been going back and forth for a while now, and it all stems from a Verzu challenge that remains unanswered. This is not some brand new feud. These two have history, and the tension around a potential Verz battle has been building since the earlier part of February 2026. The 50 and T.I. back and forth kicked back off on Sunday, February 22nd, when Tip appeared on the $1 Million Worth of Game podcast and addressed the topic of doing a versus with 50 Cent, which has previously led to mudslinging between the two rappers. T.I. did not hold back on that podcast. T explained on $1 Million Worth of Game that the matchup wasn't to pit them against each other. He said it was really about celebrating each other's catalog. He claimed that he and 50 talked about this, that he didn't just call him out of the blue. He said this didn't come out of nowhere, that they were moving around in Los Angeles selling some shows together. According to T.I., the two came to an agreement for the verses, and T was supposed to mention it publicly. So in T.I.'s version of events, there was a plan. The two rappers had discussed the verses. They agreed on it. T was going to go public with the challenge, and then 50 was supposed to respond. That was a script, but what happened next was something different. But when T.I. did mention it publicly, he alleges Fifth acted confused. T said, "Now I question your character. Just say you don't want to do it." T made it clear that he felt disrespected. T and 50 Cent recently reignited their long, simmering feud after T claimed he lost all respect for 50 when he backed out a proposed Verzu battle that would have highlighted their respective catalogs. He was not ambiguous about how he felt. He used those exact words, and he lost respect. Now, 50 Cent is 50 Cent. If you know anything about the man, you know that he does not take public shots lying down, and he does not just respond with words. 50 Cent, a rapper who is, besides his sharp verses, known for his online trolling. His latest comment in a rap beef gives away a pattern he follows in dissing his rivals on social media. The probable playbook is to mention the family and watch the drama. That is exactly what happened here. T and 50 Cent's feud was reignited earlier in February after Tip voiced his confidence in taking 50 out in a potential verse battle. 50 didn't want anything to do with the Verzus, which led 50 to slam Tip and call him King Rat in an Instagram comment. T fired back at that. 50 said King Rat, and T.I. responded saying you playing on my name when only one us a rat in real life. You know I got your paperwork right, and my transcript is available online. Your excuses is useless. Get your ass in the box or SDFU and live in fear. You soft son, you've lost my respect. So we have T.I. calling 50 Cent soft. We have 50 Cent calling T.I. a snitch. The insults are going back and forth, but everything is staying between the two rappers until 50 Cent made a move that changed the entire game. T claimed he lost all respect for 50 when he backed out a proposed Verz battle. Shortly after those comments began circulating, 50 posted a photo of Tiny to his Instagram, seemingly mocking her. That photo is where everything turned. 50 Cent took the beef away from T.I. and directed it toward his wife, Tama Tiny Harris. 50 Cent posted a photo of Tiny performing in concert on his Instagram page on Sunday. He captioned the image, "I keep saying, keep my name out your mouth, okay?" Now, posting an unflattering photo of someone's wife is a move that goes beyond rap beef. That is personal. That is family. And when you make it about family, you open a door that you might not want to walk through. 50 Cent opened that door, and who walked through it first was not T. It was his 21-year-old son, King Harris. The post immediately caught attention online, and it didn't take long for T.I.'s son, King Harris, to respond. But the way King responded is what has the entire internet talking, because King did not just defend his mother. He went somewhere that very few people expected him to go. 50 Cent did just that and is now catching heat from King Harris, the 21-year-old son of T and Tiny. On Sunday, February 22nd, the rising rapper took to his Instagram stories with an explicit exploitative-laced rant after the 50-year-old mogul shared an unflattering photo of Tiny amid his escalating online feud with T.I. King went on camera. He recorded himself and he directed his entire rant at 50 Cent. T.I.'s son, King Harris, posted a fiery rant aimed at 50 Cent after the rapper shared an unflattering photo of his mom, Tiny. In the expletive-filled rant, King repeatedly referenced 50 Cent's dead mother, telling him to post an image of her grave instead of bringing up his mom. Let that sit for a moment. King Harris, 21 years old, went on social media and directly referenced the deceased mother of one of the most powerful men in hip-hop and entertainment. 50 Cent's mother, Sabrina Jackson, died in 1983 under circumstances that have never been fully resolved. Sabrina Jackson's death in 1983 was a suspected homicide. Authorities believe someone drugged her and left her unconscious in her apartment before setting it on fire. Despite the suspicious circumstances, no arrests were made and her killer remains unidentified. 50 Cent was 8 years old when his mother was killed. This tragic event left 50 Cent without his mother during his most formative years. He has spoken about her publicly many times over the decades and has been open about how the loss shaped him. Someone put something in her drink and turned the gas on. 50 said after that, "Every time something went wrong, I'd think if my mother was here, it wouldn't be like that." That is what King Harris decided to target. King Harris blasted 50 Cent on social media over the weekend after the rapper trolled his mother, Tiny, by sharing an unflattering picture of her on Instagram. In response, Harris brought up 50's late mother, Sabrina Jackson, in a lengthy video rant. King did not stop at the video rant. King Harris took to his Instagram story where he shared a picture of a headstone and wrote "This where your mama at." He also shared a picture of a headstone featuring the name Sabrina Jackson and added, "Fuck you, bitch, and dig up your mama." So, King posted images of tombstones. He posted what appeared to be the actual grave site of 50 Cent's mother. He told 50 Cent to go dig up his deceased mother. He told him to go put flowers on her grave. And all of this was recorded, screenshotted, and shared across every social media platform within minutes. Raindrops Media posted on X that King Harris entered the chat and told 50 Cent to go dig up his deceased mother and post a picture of her gravesite. After 50 Cent posted a picture of Tiny Harris amid the ongoing T.I. beef, the internet's reaction was split. Some people understood King defending his mother, but the majority of the conversation was about how far King went. Some fans say King was disrespectful and he could have handled the situation in private, because there's a difference between defending your mother and going after someone else's dead mother. King crossed that line, and people noticed. Now, here's where it gets interesting, because everyone expected 50 Cent to come back with fire. Everyone expected 50 to go nuclear in response. But 50 Cent did what 50 Cent does best. He treated the entire thing like a joke. T.I. publicly backed his son and criticized 50 Cent, while 50 Cent remained unbothered by the attacks. That is the part that made the situation even more dangerous for the Harris family, because when 50 Cent does not react, it is not because he is done, it is because he is calculating. 50 Cent and T.I.'s back and forth has now ensnared a certain notorious amphibian. Sunday, Fifth shared an image of Pepper the Frog to his always active Instagram. While the Off, headline Gunnet Film and Television founder, didn't directly name the intended target of this post, it was immediately made clear that he didn't need to get specific, as fans were quick to hop in the comments with their own speculation. 50 Cent then reacted with a frog face photo on Instagram, along with a caption, "LOL. That's it." That was 50 Cent's response to King Harris telling him to dig up his dead mother, a frog meme, and the word LOL. And if you know 50 Cent, you know that response was more threatening than any rant could ever be, because 50 Cent is not a man who forgets. King Harris's feud with 50 marks the mogul's second with the rapper's son following his 2026 feud with Diddy's son, Christian King Combs. So 50 Cent has already been through one round of this with another rapper's kid. He knows how to handle it, and his playbook usually involves patience and precision. Meanwhile, T.I. responded to 50's original post about Tiny. T.I. himself commented on 50's original post writing, 966A, "You can post a fat hoe in a snowstorm on a unicycle juggling dildos. You still a hoe." Just King said that. T also posted on his Instagram stories. In an update to his Instagram story shortly after 50's post about his wife, T wrote, "You can win BCU a good man, a good dad, and a good person." That message appeared to be directed at himself, or perhaps at King, a reassurance in the middle of the chaos. And then T went to the studio. He hit the studio and dropped a sneak peek of what sounds like a diss track aimed straight at 50. In the snippet of the DJ Tum-produced track, seemingly titled War, T.I. doesn't hold back, making it clear he's not here for the games. It appears this could just be a 100-second preview of a longer edition of War, which may be featured on T.I.'s final album, Kill the King, releasing later in 2026. So T.I. is turning this feud into music. He captioned the snippet, "Oh, you 966 as want war. 8, we on that," he teased on Instagram. But here's the problem. While T.I. was handling things the way a veteran rapper handles things, with bars, with comments, with strategy, King was doing something else. King was on Instagram telling 50 Cent to dig up his dead mother. And that is not strategy. That is a liability. 50 Cent is not just a rapper. He is a television mogul. He runs Gannett Film and Television. He has relationships across the entertainment industry. He has the resources and the platform to make life difficult for people, and he has done it before publicly and repeatedly. It all started over a potential versus battle, in which Fifth allegedly ducked T. The two eventually started dissing each other for snitching, with T posting some alleged receipts. So, both sides are trading accusations of informing. Both sides are trading personal shots. And now King has added the death of a man's mother to the mix. The stakes just went from entertainment beef to something much more serious. 50 Cent has laughed off King Harris's remarks about Sabrina Jackson, according to his latest Instagram post. LOL, 50 captioned the post with a photo of the popular cartoon frog meme. But laughing something off in public does not mean it is over. Everyone watching this knows that. And the person most aware of that fact is T, because T knows 50 Cent. He knows how this man operates. He knows that 50 does not forget, and he does not let go. And now his 21-year-old son has given 50 ammunition that extends far beyond a rap beef. Now, the title of this video says, "I grabbed King Harris by the neck on camera." And to understand why people believe that is something T would do, you have to look at the history between father and son, because this is not the first time T and King have had a physical confrontation on camera. Not even close. Back in November 2023, something happened at the Atlanta Falcons game that gave the entire world a front row seat to the Harris family dynamics. T.I. kicked off the Atlanta Falcons' 50th anniversary of Hip Hop Celebration Sunday and almost wound up kicking his son King's ass when a family dispute in the stands got physical. Following performance, T and King engaged in what started as a playful back and forth, but quickly spiraled into a physical altercation inside their suite at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. What caused it? The encounter occurred after King grew agitated at his mother, Tiny Harris, and his father for laughing at his claim that he used to be in the streets despite being born with a silver spoon in his mouth. King was on Instagram Live at the time, broadcasting everything to the world. "You are embarrassing yourself and your family. You are embarrassing yourself," T emphasized. Then things got physical. T was right by the aggravated teen, and a struggle between the father-son duo seemingly ensued. "You are embarrassing yourself and the family," T says as he appears to grab his son. King is heard telling his father to get off him, but to no avail. One Harris bucks, and the other one bucks harder according to the audio. The video shows the thud and knocking over the camera, as if the two were tussling. After the scuffle, T could be heard asserting himself. T seemed to confirm the fight, saying, "Boy, you can't do nothing with me. Ain't sought you can do with me." After the video went viral, King took to his Instagram story to blast his family with cryptic messages that have now been deleted. King posted things like, "I stand on business. Don't give __, who you are 100. One read, followed by, "If Emma mistakes say it, stop making the world think of fear me when I don't. 100. According to one outlet, T put King in a headlock during the incident. King Harris got into a heated argument with T and Tiny Harris at the Atlanta Falcons game, and T.I. put him in a headlock on IG Live. So, this is a father who has on camera grabbed his son during a heated moment before. When T.I. told King he was embarrassing the family back in 2023, the words he used were almost identical to what people would expect him to say now. Because King just did something that does not just embarrass the family. It puts them in the crosshairs of a man who has the resources, the reach, and the motivation to make their lives very public and very uncomfortable. King was also arrested in 2024. Son of T.I. King Harris was arrested in Georgia in 2024 after having an open warrant for his arrest stemming from a 2022 case. He had one stemming from 2022 revolving around speeding, driving with a suspended license, and a DUI. The arrest happened after King Harris nearly hit a police car with his vehicle while exiting a gas station. There have also been more serious accusations leveled at the family. T.I. and Tiny Harris are once again under scrutiny following renewed accusations from longtime critic Sabrina Peterson. In her posts, Peterson accused the Harrises of taunting survivors, while asserting, "The feds already have this. I think the fans need it." She also shared alleged text exchanges between King Harris and a young woman described as trafficked. Peterson claimed the girl's family contacted her legal team, fearing their child was caught in a network. T and Tiny have repeatedly denied all accusations, calling them malicious fabrications. The point is this: T is not operating in a vacuum. He has a family reputation that is already under pressure from multiple directions. He has a son who has shown a pattern of making public scenes. And now that son has given 50 Cent, a man who thrives on this type of thing, a reason to escalate. T responding by grabbing King by the neck on camera, given what we have already seen between these two, is not a stretch. It is consistent with what has happened before. So, where does this leave everybody? Let us take stock of the current situation. 50 Cent and T are currently in the midst of a pretty nasty beef with one another. It started with the Verzoos. It escalated to snitching accusations. 50 posted a photo of Tiny. King responded by telling 50 to dig up his dead mother. 50 posted a frog meme and said, "LOL, T dropped a diss track snippet called War, and the internet is watching every single second of it." Tiny Harris has also not made a public remark regarding either the beef between T and King Harris or the beef between T and 50 Cent at this time. Tiny, the woman at the center of this situation, the person whose photo was posted by 50 Cent, the person whose son went to war in her defense, has said nothing, and that silence says a lot. It either means she is choosing to stay out of it, or she is not pleased with how her son handled things, or she is simply waiting for the dust to settle. But her silence is a contrast to the noise everyone else is making. The diss track T released is called War, though Fifth doesn't get a direct mention in the track. Some fans have assumed that the release of War, a new song from T.I., may have something to do with their ongoing back and forth. At any rate, its release marks the latest glimpse at what Tip may have in store for the upcoming Kill the King, which is widely expected to be his final album. So, T.I. is using this feud as fuel for what could be his last project. He is channeling the anger into music, which is what a veteran does. But King is not a veteran. King is 21. And what King did going after a man's deceased mother, posting images of her gravesite, telling that man to dig up his mother's body. That is the kind of move that does not just go away with a meme or a diss track. That is the kind of move that creates lasting enemies. And let us not forget who 50 Cent is. 50 Cent, known pot stirrer, has been in a vicious internet beef with T.I. and his family. 50 Cent has beef with some of the biggest names in hip-hop over the last 2 decades. He went at Ja Rule, he went at Rick Ross, he went at The Game, he went at Floyd Mayweather, he went at Diddy, and in almost every single case, 50 outlasted, outtrolled, and outlived the beef on his terms. He has an empire that is generating content, producing shows, and operating deals across Hollywood. He is not someone who needs to escalate because he can afford to be patient and precise. It remains clear that this T.I. and 50 Cent beef is not going away anytime soon. These are two artists who are way too prideful to ever let this simmer down. And King Harris just poured gasoline on it. Let's be real about the family dynamics here. King is the eldest of the 3 children T and Tiny share, including son Major Fan 17 and daughter Aries Diana Harris 9. T is also the father of 3 children from a previous relationship: Messiah Majesty Harris, Demony Uriah Harris, and Deja Monty Harris. Meanwhile, Tiny is mom to Zanique Pullins, a daughter from a previous relationship. That is a big family. And when King goes on Instagram and makes the kinds of statements he made, he is not just representing himself. He is representing all of them. Every one of those siblings now has to navigate whatever comes from King's actions. Every family member is now associated with those comments about 50 Cent's mother, and that is what makes this so much bigger than a beef between rappers. T.I. has always shown that he is willing to physically intervene when King is embarrassing the family. He did it at the Falcons game in 2023. He grabbed him. He told him he was embarrassing himself and the family. He put him in what was described as a headlock on Instagram Live. And after King's comments about 50 Cent's mother, the idea that T would grab King by the neck on camera is not surprising. It is the next logical step in a pattern that has been playing out for years. The question now is what comes next. 50 Cent's LOL is not the end. It is the beginning. Fifth is not going to respond on record, or at least we don't think he will. Whether or not War comes out in full is something that still very much remains to be seen right now. What we know for certain is this. T and 50 Cent had a beef that was between 2 grown men with decades of history in the music industry. King Harris inserted himself into that beef. And in doing so, he took things to a level that may have consequences beyond Instagram rants and memes. He brought a dead woman's name into a public fight. He posted images of her gravesite. And he did all of this on camera for the world to see without thinking about who else it would affect. T has every reason to be furious with his son. Not because King defended his mother. That part is understandable. But because of how King defended her. Because the method King chose did not protect the family. It exposed them. It gave their opponent more ammunition. It made headlines for all the wrong reasons. And it put a target on the backs of people who did not ask to be part of this fight. That is what happens when you cross a line in a public beef. The beef stops being about the 2 people who started it and starts being about everybody around them. T knows this. He has been in this game for over 2 decades. He knows what 50 Cent is capable of, and he knows that his son just handed 50 Cent a gift that he will use however and whenever he sees fit. So yes, T grabbing King Harris by the neck on camera after King put the family in danger tracks with everything we know about this family, this feud, and these 2 men. And the fallout from King's comments is just getting started. Whether T.I. can contain the damage or whether 50 Cent will continue to exploit it remains to be seen. But one thing is certain.